On a personal level, how much did this defeat sting?
No one likes to lose. It's a disappointment without doubt, and it has caused, it's something I reflect on. The party has embarked upon an appraisal process. Let them complete their work. I think they are just about completed that. I think that in time, there is need to make own assessments as to the factors behind it, and it's never good to make the pronouncements immediately. But yes, it wasn't a pleasant experience.
How much blame will you place on Dr. Phillips for this defeat?
Well, put it this way, I acted as I thought was necessary because the buck stops with me. That's why I offered, and in fact, most of our party leaders have taken a decision whenever we are faced a defeat to offer their resignations, and I did because, as I said, I accept ultimately the responsibility that flows with leadership.
Looking back, can you say, if I had a do-over, I would have done this differently or that differently?
Yes, I think so. But it's
And
too.
if you could share an example.
No, I'm not really. I mean, I think the fundamental issue at work was that the party was divided. And if anything, I underestimated, despite my efforts to unify, the degree of this division, and that the extent to which it was almost an irretrievable condition. And quite frankly, it extended throughout the entire period of my tenure as party leader. And
To be clear, that division you're talking about?
yes, that's what I am talking about. Nobody is attracted to a house divided against itself.
You have heard the critics, those within PNP and those outside, that you had it coming, given the fact that you had challenged a sitting president. How do you respond to that? That the fact that you can't now expect that you won't face a challenge, given that you have, in the words of the critics, opened the door?
I have two sets of responses to that. One is that the question can in fact be properly raised, that in challenging Comrade Portia Simpson's presidency in 2008, I kind of unlocked the door for a pattern of challenges for our future. And there is a lot, there's a lot that can be said that when you shatter conventions, in a sense, you run a risk, and in hindsight, maybe that was something that was ill-advised. By the same token,
On your part?
yes, on my part. By the same token, it was in defense of another convention, which was that when you lose, at least offer the party a chance to make a judgment, and that I felt strongly about at the time. But as I say, in hindsight, it's 2020, yes. But the record should also show that following her request of me to rejoin her shadow cabinet, which I declined to join because I felt also at the time that having contested and been defeated, I should not avail myself, should give the party a chance to settle, not to allow the wounds to settle. So despite having been offered, I declined to serve in the shadow cabinet. Subsequent to that, she made a request of me to rejoin. I did, and she made a request of me to be campaign director for the 2011 election, and I did, and I proceeded to devote all my energies in support of our presidency, and did with the utmost of sincerity that I could muster, despite whatever else anyone might want to say, and served in her administration as Minister of Finance, and gave it my all on behalf of her premiership and on behalf of the country.
There is a view that you place personal ambition before the party in deciding, certainly in the case of the attempt by some of the MPs to, through that letter that they had sent, or that was circulating, to bring in new leadership. And
was that what it was about? Because that was the first time I'm hearing that.
no, but I'm sure you've heard that there was
No, I've never heard that. They wrote in their letter that they wanted me to talk to them about the state of my health. That's what they wrote in the letter. And I thought it had been clear, it had been reported on by the chairman of the party and the others who knew, but that's what they said, and they never at any point said to me that this was what was their concern. You are telling me for the first time. I had made the state of my health a matter of public disclosure. In fact, some felt in excess. I certainly went further than previous leaders who had been faced with matters of illness, in presenting it publicly to the party, because I believe the state of my health as leader is a matter of concern, legitimate concern for the party.
So I go back to my question though. Given the health concerns and given the perceived, I'm going to use the word perceived.
It would have been, no, let's get real. Changing leadership at that point in time when an election is imminent. The election was due. There had been reports around that they were planning for a May election, right? And the pandemic derailed it. Changing leadership at the time would have been devastating to the party at that time. And it would have been emblematic, to my mind, of cowardice on my part, was there not an interest of health involved? And dereliction of duty.
So you're saying, it cannot be the case that you'll be accused of placing personal ambition above? Because the question I
have never placed personal considerations above the party. I may have made errors of judgment, but I have never placed. If truth be told, in 2017, and there are close associates of mine who will know, when comrades came and said to me, why don't you offer yourself for the leadership? At the time when Comrade Portia Simpson indicated that she was demitting office. My big concern at the point in time, personally, was, ought I to do this? And I felt, quite frankly, from a strictly personal point of view, I was quite prepared to just go. And I was told by those and persuaded, and in fact, if there is issue and question, it is in allowing myself to be persuaded, then one could say I ought not to have allowed it. But I was persuaded that given the divisions that were there, I was the only person that in fact could, at the time, unite it. And that was to be seen that they were both my supporters and supporters of the previous party leader, who were part of this grouping that said, you need to offer yourself because the party needs you. That was my concern, because quite frankly, as far as what I was able to do, however anyone will choose to judge it for the future, in all my various ministerial and party political undertakings, I felt quite satisfied that I had done my best on behalf of the country and on behalf of party.
Personally, were you hurt by the decision by Mr. Bunting to challenge you as president of PNP? When, and how did you find out and what was your initial reaction?
Look, that's water under the bridge. Huh? There's water under the bridge. There's a time for that. No, it's not that time. There's a time for that discussion. No, it's not